doing a briefing after the debate to, depending on what happened or did not happen. And so that's what this is. I want to start off by thanking all of our partners at the federal, state, and local level, law enforcement partners, and other partners that helped us to provide security and make it a safe debate. I want to have a special thanks for the Governor DeWine, who provided us with the National Guard, and also thank you to the public, those who came to exercise their constitutional right in general, and on the whole, it was very peaceful and orderly with as demonstrations and protests go. And our goal was to ensure a successful debate in terms of what happened external to the debate venue itself, and we were able to accomplish that. Again, thanks to all the partners and those particular people who were involved in a leadership role to help us do this. I'll turn it over to the director.
Thank you, Mayor. Hello, Cleveland. Last night we had a historical presidential debate. The eyes of the country and around the world were on the city of Cleveland, and the men and women of our public safety forces stood by and executed a very respectable and honorable service to the city of Cleveland, represented the city very well. So I want to say thank you to the men and women of the Division of Police, Fire, and Emergency Medical Services, EMS. I want to say thank you to our partners, our local partners, Regional Transit Authority, RTA, Cuyahoga County, our local partners from the suburban areas who came in and lended a hand to ensure that the debate and the protest, the exercising of the First Amendment rights was done in a very peaceful and respectable manner. I want to thank our state partners, the Ohio National Guard. Thank you for coming up and joining us. It's always a pleasure to work with you, and last night went very well. We want to thank our federal partners, the Secret Service, the FBI, for everything that they did, the services that they provided. We were hardworking throughout the entire time leading up to this, especially last night in our Emergency Operations Center. Thanks to those folks in our Joint Information Center. Just want to make sure I don't forget anyone. We also had folks from out of town, from Nashville, Miami, and Utah, who came to observe to see how things were going to go last night and in preparation for the debates coming to their cities. Cleveland served as a model yesterday, and and again, all eyes being on us, Cleveland shine. And thank you for everyone who participated, and thank you for the citizens who respectfully exercised their First Amendment rights, and for the citizens who worked with law enforcement to keep the community safe. With that, I'll turn it over to Chief Williams.
Thanks, Director. I'm probably going to be a little redundant, but I also want to thank all of our partners that came into the city of Cleveland and assisted in this historic event here. From our federal partners, Eric Smith of the FBI and his folks here, Jonathan Shuck of the Secret Service, and our local folks here. I definitely want to thank Lieutenant Colonel Fielding for the National Guard contingent. You guys are great as usual, and we appreciate you coming down. Appreciate the governor allowing you to assist us last night over the last 2.5 days. Just real quick, some numbers from last night. The Division of Police, along with our local partners, had approximately 760 officers dedicated to the event over the 2-day period. That doesn't include our EMS and our fire partners, as the director spoke of earlier. There were a little under 1,000, what we could count during the course of last night's events. A little under 1,000 people demonstrating, both in University Circle, at the debate location itself on the Cleveland Clinic campus, and also in downtown Cleveland. And as the director and the mayor also stated, we'd like to thank those folks, especially our local folks, that kept things calm, that exercised their constitutional rights in the appropriate manner, safely within the law and within the bounds of the things that we set up for them to do. And we hope that we can continue along that line here in the near future. Also, the division made 4 arrests, and they range from things like driving under suspension to an incident that happened with the attempted petty theft of some of our field force equipment from an officer. So 4 total arrests as we stand now, and we're in the charging process with those 4 individuals. But again, I want to thank the Cleveland community. We had a couple meetings out there in that Fairfax neighborhood with residents to let them know what was going to happen and to ask for their assistance in helping keep us safe. I think that went a long ways. And, our partners, again, in law enforcement, I can't thank you guys enough. You always come through when we have huge events in Cleveland, and you did at this time also. So with that said, I'm going to turn it back over to the mayor.
Are there any questions? No questions yet?
No, not yet.
Or we'll wait a little longer, and if there will be no questions, then we'll close up the.
Matt Wright's asking, what are more details surrounding the 4 people who were arrested? What happened in the theft of equipment from the officer incident?
Chief.
Yeah, a little more specifics on the 4 people that were arrested. There was 1 male arrested again for driving under suspension. His vehicle got kind of involved in that protest zone, in the debate zone up near 105 in that area. He was arrested for that driver's license violation. There was another male arrested for failure to comply with the orders of officers around the immediate perimeter of the debate itself. We had another male arrested also for trespassing on the debate zone itself, which was prohibited by the federal government, the U.S. Secret Service. And then the 18-year-old female connection with the attempted petty theft or the petty theft of officers' equipment and disruption of public services or a couple of charges that may come against her. Well, again, we're in the process of charging all those individuals, conferring with the prosecutors to make sure the appropriate charges are brought against those 4 individuals.
There. We have 2 related questions. The first one is from Kim Palmer from Cranes. What was the cost to the city for the event? And then Jim Nelson from Channel 19 asked about how much overtime the department incurred.
In terms of the overall cost, I'll let the chief give you some general figures there, and which will include overtime. But we worked with our partner, the clinic, Cleveland Clinic, who assisted us in covering, if not all, a significant portion of our costs. There were things that we would normally do in this kind of environment, and then there are things that this environment required us to do in excess. And so we work with our partners to help us on those costs that would exceed what we would normally do. And the chief may have some figures on that now, or he may get it to you later. Chief?
Again, as the mayor stated, in the normal course of business for special events throughout the city, there are certain in-kind services that the city provides just as a way of doing business here, and that includes public safety services itself. Right now, the public safety cost of the city itself, police, fire, and EMS, we're still getting the exact calculation, but it's somewhere between $450,000 and $500,000. Most of that, as the mayor stated, will be reimbursed by the Cleveland Clinic itself. And then we're still working on details with some of the other costs associated with the event between ourselves and the Cleveland Clinic.
And Jenny Hamel from WCPN asked if you could clarify the number of officers committed yesterday.
Again, we started our operational period Monday morning at 7 a.m., where officers from the Division of Police, as well as some of our partners, were dedicated to this event for approximately a little over 48 hours. So we count the officers dedicated for the 2-day period, and that's 767 officers, not just from the Cleveland Division of Police, but also from our suburban partners, and then 300 National Guardsmen that came in midday on Monday and worked through the early morning hours this morning.
Okay, so we have 2 questions related. One is from Bob Higgs. Are the charges misdemeanors or felonies? And then Adam Paris asked, for those arrested, how did the person get into the debate zone, and what did the 18-year-old woman steal?
I don't want to get too deep into the exact specifics of those arrests. What I gave you is what I have right now. We're in that process, again, of making sure with our prosecutors that we charge appropriately based on what happened. For the person that may have or attempted to get into the debate zone, for the people that were down there, they know everything was either bike racked or fence. So the person had to either climb over a bike rack or try to climb over a fence for that trespass violation.
Adam Parisian.
Okay.
A Shaker Heights police officer working in University Circle made an obscene gesture to protesters as he drove by. As the lead police agency in charge of the event, could you address this incident?
Well, the incident was addressed shortly after it happened by that commander from Shaker Heights. That officer was relieved and taken off the detail that night when that was brought to that Shaker Heights commander's attention. And that's the way we expect our partners to operate here in the city of Cleveland. And that commander for Shaker did exactly what he was supposed to do.
And Kim Palmer from Cranes asked, how does this debate relative to the cost and number of officers compare to other debates held here?
Well, in my tenure here, we've only had one other debate, and that was in 2016. I think the costs for this debate were a little bit more. I'd have to, defer to the finance people on that. But due to, a lot of the tenor around the country and the things that have happened, and our ability to secure the event with the help of our partners, that probably had to escalate the cost for this event. But again, I don't have an apples-to-apples comparison from 2016 to what we did then compared to what we did now, but I would imagine, just based on the current state of affairs in the country and the things that I know that we put in place here over the last 2 days, it was probably a little more this time around than the last time.
Okay. Anything else? We'll wait a minute or so. Well, I appreciate you tuning in, and appreciate the questions, and thank you very much. Thank you.